Hey everyone, excited to kick this off. My name is Felecia Hatcher, CEO of Pharrell Williams Black Ambition Opportunity Fund. I'm joined by the lovely ladies, Madison and Emaya from Black Girls Code, as well as the rising star of the Transformers movie, Dominique Fishback. And so we're excited to have this conversation with you today. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
I'll kick it off with the first question, then I'm going to turn it over to the ladies at Black Girls Code. And so, Dominique, if you can talk to us a little bit about your character in Transformers Rise of the Beast.
Well, her name is Elena Wallace. Shout out to Biggie Smalls in Brooklyn. She's from Brooklyn, East New York, just like me. I'm from Brooklyn, East New York. She works at a museum, and when you meet her, you can tell she's really smart and good at her job, but her boss keeps taking credit for the work that she does. And then she meets Noah and the Autobots, and she decides to like take matters into her own hands.
Perfect. I love it. I love it. We're joined by two really phenomenal rising stars in the STEM space. Madison, who's based in New York, who's been with Black Girls Code since she was in the second grade. And then Emaya, who's also based in San Francisco. And so I'm going to turn it over to Madison because she has a question that she wants to ask you.
Yes. Hi, Madison.
Hi, Dominique. How excited were you to work on a Transformers movie with an all-star cast and director?
I was extremely excited. I think that originally just always wanting to be an actor, and then watching Even Stevens on Disney and saying, and then watching Shia go from Even Stevens to Transformers and being like, okay, so I have to do something like that. And I didn't imagine that it would actually be Transformers, because watching it in these franchises, a lot of times the lead actress they don't look like us, and they don't come from the areas that we come from a lot of the times. So it was harder to imagine that I would get to take up space in that way for this film. But dreams do come true. And I love Anthony. Anthony and I were been friends before the movie, and Stephen had come to visit my set when I was doing Judas and the Black Messiah, and I got to know and talk to him. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to be a part of the franchise is because of Stephen's vision and his commitment to making sure that Elena had her own storyline, her own arc, and that she was an individual with her own dreams. And that was important to me.
Perfect. Turning it over to you, Emaya.
So what was your favorite moment during production?
Ooh. During production, I think my favorite moment is going to Machu Picchu in Peru, and it's sacred, sacred land, and they had a shaman bless production for being on the land. And while we were in the ceremony, a butterfly flew in. Butterflies are really sacred to me. I feel like my grandmother comes to visit me. You too? Yes, that's beautiful.
Me as well, yeah.
Yes, awesome. So you're gonna love this story. I also felt like my grandmother comes to visit me in butterflies and let me know that I'm safe and that I'm on the right track. And a butterfly came and landed in the middle of the ceremony and stayed there for the entire ceremony for like 15 minutes in that same spot. After the ceremony, I go and lay on the grass with the butterfly, and I'm eye to eye with this butterfly. And I'm laying there, and then I put my finger out and it hops to another piece of grass, and then I put my finger over there. And after about 7 minutes of me sitting like this, patience is a virtue. I never thought I had it, but apparently I do. I sat there, and the butterfly, I saw it. The butterfly stepped one leg on my finger and then the other, and I lifted it up like this. And it's all on video. It's actually on my Instagram right now if you want to check it out. But obviously after the interview, but that was such a beautiful experience. And I thought, oh, this is a good idea. And now it's 3:33 on the clock, and that's also a good sign. So, hey, we in there, hey, we in the money.
I love that story. That was like so amazing. And I relate to it so much. So I'm definitely gonna check that out right after this. My next question is, who is your favorite Autobot in the movie?
Oh, in this movie, or in Transformers world?
In this movie. But then also tell us in the Transformers world, because I need to know. I need to know.
Bumblebee is my favorite, just all over, just from the first one, and his relationship with the humans and his sincerity and his love. He's always going to be a fan favorite. I do believe that in this movie, Mirage is just so dynamic, and Pete Davidson voiced him so amazing, funny, charismatic, sincere. You just love. I think you just fall in love with Mirage. But B is always going to be B at the end of the day.
All right, is it me? I'm asking the question?
Yeah, you had the STEM question. Go ahead.
All right. When you're like not acting, what do you do for fun? Like,
I like to read a lot, but I read books that are like, I'm reading a book called A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. She's the one with the quote that says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us." And I remember in 11th grade, I came into my English teacher's classroom one day, and she had that quote right above the board. And I was like, oh, I feel that. That's special to me. I didn't know it came from that book, Return to Love, but the book is really beautiful, and it's just helping me on my journey to, one, be more compassionate to myself. And as I'm more compassionate to myself, I'm able to be more compassionate to others and see others as human, as learning, as growing as I am. And yes, it's been fun. Otherwise, I love piano. I've been playing piano a bit. I'm learning guitar right now, but I'm definitely better at piano. I love spoken word. I'm working on a poetry book, and I want to do music. So that's what I'm doing for fun. Figuring out also my femininity. I feel like because I'm from New York, there's always been like a masculine type of energy that I thought that I had, and I felt like I didn't have access to that soft feminine type. And now I was navigating how to find it, how to have more access to it. So it's been a hard journey, but it's been really fun to explore all the aspects of myself.
Wow, that is super interesting. And I'm from New York as well, and I love to read as well. So you should definitely check out the Lit Bar. 10 out of 10 would recommend. It's the best place ever.
The Lit Bar?
The Lit Bar, yes.
Yeah, I think I went there before, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
It's so amazing. Yes, I love it there. And speaking of music, what are your favorite songs featured in the movie, and who are your top 2 favorite artists and why?
Ooh.
It's a hard one, I know.
Favorite song in the movie, Hypnotized, Biggie. Yeah, this, like when you hear that beat, like it's just something just go crazy. And then I have to say, I really love Toby's song with Nas, On My Soul. That's an original for the film. And then Mama Said Knock You Out. That's another one that's in the film that I really like. And then favorite artist of all time. Why? Aaliyah. I love Aaliyah. And then, yikes, Michael Jackson. Like, those were the 2 artists that I had on my wall the most growing up. So I have to pick them, even though I love Lauryn Hill as well. Especially her MTV Unplugged album. I don't know if you heard that one.
Yes, that's actually my favorite. My favorite song is Adam Lives in Theory.
Yeah, I love I Get Out.
yes,
But so in terms of music, like I want to do something that pays homage to that album.
what are like 3 words? How would you describe Transformers in 3 words?
Black. Funny, endearing.
Those are some good words. Yeah.
Thank you.
Dominique, STEAM is a huge part of the storyline and DNA of Transformers, which is exciting because that's the epitome of Black Girls Code. How different was the role versus other characters you've played?
Oh, yes. Well, I've never played a scientist before, artifact researcher. And that was completely different from anything that I've ever done. Just getting the language in my mouth as well, but also just making sure that I didn't assimilate. Like I didn't change my voice and how I speak. Like my character's from Brooklyn, she's from East New York, and just because she's a scientist, I didn't want to put on a voice, and be like, oh, like there's just certain ways. She still is like, yo, for real. Like, what's up with that? Like, what took you so long to the security? I wanted her to be able to, Nubian and like keep the harshness New York on her voice and show that there's many ways to be a woman in science, there's many ways to be intelligent. Even though we've been told for a long time that there's a certain way that you have to speak, certain things you have to wear, certain way you have to look, in order to be seen deemed professional. And I'm so glad that, Steven honored her natural hair, the curls, and like, especially as you get in the jungle, it gets fluffier and fluffier. And then just the lipstick that she got to wear, because also she's a fly scientist. You know what I mean? She could have swag and lipstick and suspenders and look really cool. Yeah.
Perfect. In the last 2 minutes we have left, Madison or Emaya, do you have any last questions?
Yes, I have another question for you. So I'm 15 and I'm curious on what advice you would give to your 15-year-old self.
Honestly, this might sound cliche, but I would tell her that she actually has all the answers, that she has it. She truly does have it inside herself. And I would just say, when you feel like you don't know, sit in silence and write it out. Just write anything that comes to your mind, write it out. And then by the end of writing it out, maybe write for 20 minutes. And by the end of writing it out, you'll find that all of the egoic and societal pressures and ideas and ideals that are not really true to you, that don't resonate, that they will lift up for a little while. And then you can grab the stuff that's underneath it. So that's actually how I feel about it. And you'll realize the next day that stuff will come back on and you're like, oh man, I gotta do it again. You know what I'm saying? You grab the stuff that matters, and slowly but surely you'll start to be like, oh, I don't have as much on top of what I really feel. I actually can go right there and pick it out like this. I don't have to scrape everything to grab. I can just, like an incision, and just go, whoop, right? So it starts to get like that. So I would just tell her that she has the answers inside of her. When she doesn't know, write it out or meditate, just lay in quiet and see. And then after that, before in 2020, I started doing this thing where if I had anxiety about anything, I would write it down. I would write first, journal. I always journal, and she did too. I've been journaling since I was 12. So, but I would journal, and then I would meditate. And then after I would meditate, I would journal again. And I find that the things that I said before the meditation, they were based in fear, and fear of a future that doesn't have to happen. There were all these things that didn't make me feel good. But when I was meditating, that's the closest I got to being still and being near source, being near God. And then, oh my God, wow, there's so much levity in how I feel now.
Nice, I love it.
Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. I'm definitely going to take that. I definitely want to start journaling more. So I feel like this was my sign.
Yes, it was.
Thank you so much. Because I'm going to send you pictures. I'm like, that sounds weird, but I'm going to be.
It's not weird. It's not weird. In fact, like I did this line, be yourself, love. Mm-hmm. And I had a tattoo. It's in my mom's handwriting, be yourself, love. Because I realized that coming into Hollywood or going into any space, it can be hard sometimes to speak how you feel, to laugh how you laugh, to joke how you joke. And I think it's important to be yourself and be love. And I'm actually making my own journals. Be yourself journal that's going to come out when Transformers comes out, and it'll be on my Instagram. So no, and I think it is a sign, and it's a sign for me to continue to like do other things outside of acting, because you don't know who it can help or inspire. So thank you.
On that note, be yourself, love is how we're going to end this conversation. Thank you so much for pouring into the thousands of girls that are innovators, dreamers, visionaries, scientists within their journey with Black Girls Code. Thank you to Madison as well as Emaya. And again, thank you so much, Dominique, for the work that you're doing with this film and everything that you're doing overall. Thank you for your time, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you for having me. See you guys later. Bye.